Hello, this is Marley from Fawn and Intuitive, and today I wanted to talk about other dimensions and how they impact our life, the positive and the negative, in my perspective. Um, so it's possible you've heard of 3D, the third dimension, 4D, the fourth dimension, and 5D, the fifth dimension. And there are more dimensions than that, but today I'm just going to talk about 3D, 4D, and 5D. First off, scientifically proven, everything in our universe is energy. Every chair, every table, every glass of water, our bodies, every cell, every molecule is energy. And the first law of energy is it cannot be created and it cannot be destroyed. It can only be transmuted. So, energy is eternal. It has always been. And the way energy is transmuted is vibration, heat or cold, movement. So all it took was a tiny vibration, and there it was, consciousness. And we were all a part of that original energy, that original consciousness. So if everything is energy and energy has always been, that means energy is omnipresent. It's everywhere. It's omniscient. It's all-knowing. And it's all-powerful. Which sounds a lot like God to me. So if you think about the different dimensions, it's kind of like a family tree. So you think about that original consciousness that is infinite and eternal, and one vibration, and it became conscious, okay? And it began to create. So if you think about a family tree, like the great grandparents at the top, and then your grandparents, and then your parents, and then you, and your aunts and your uncles, your brothers and sisters, it kind of trickles down, okay? And I sort of feel like that is what dimensions are. We have the ultimate consciousness that we are a part of. It is in us, but it's eternal, okay? And as that consciousness began to create from itself, it trickled down the family tree. And now we're here. And, who knows really, since everything is infinite, I'm sure the universe's family tree is very elaborate. But for this story, I just wanted to give you a visual. Okay, so you see, like, there's this kind of hierarchy, this consciousness that can see everything in every possible universe, every possible outcome, as though it's just like a little dot on a piece of paper. And then we're somewhere down where we can see a tiny little bit and a few possibilities. But the understanding that we can gain, it is always like so expansive. So basically, our dimension that we are on here on Earth, it's called the third dimension. It is a heavy dimension. It is based off of what we can see with our two eyes, what we feel, what we possess. It's very much based on kind of what we're taught. Other people have a huge influence on what we see and believe in the 3D. And that's why, someone raised in one country will have completely different customs or a completely different religion than someone raised in another country. And the 3D, part of the reason it's so heavy is because it comes from there are a lot of lower vibrational emotions and beliefs here on Earth. Okay, so a lot of it comes from wanting power, Our worth comes from what we have, what we possess, someone saying that we have worth, someone giving us approval, whether that be a romantic relationship, not wanting to be rejected, wanting to please our parents, wanting to have a job that makes us a certain amount of money, even if that job doesn't make us happy. And a lot of times we get in this life, we start down a road, and when it stops being authentic with us, we, instead of actually listening to our souls, listening to our heart, we will try to keep going. And that is where stress and anxiety comes in, because who we are on the inside is not lining up with the beliefs that we are trying to attach ourselves to. Now, a lot of times that ends up being a good thing, because the way people end up accessing higher dimensions, it happens in a few ways. Some people are naturally sensitive. But some people, they hit a wall and they're like, wait, everything I've learned, everything I've been told, this is not lining up, and I can't do this anymore this way. And so they start to seek for answers. And that can take them to the 4D and the 5D. So the 4D is another dimension that is present right here, right now. There's truly no separation. We sometimes think of heaven as far away, and God is this super far away thing, when actually we are a part of God. We are part of that energy that created everything. Okay, so 4D is very, very interesting, because it is an open door to help you get to higher dimensions, but a lot of times we can get stuck there. And the 4D can be used in positive ways or negative ways, okay? And it can influence us in positive ways or negative ways. Why? Because the 4D, it is really based off our beliefs. That's why when you listen to a lot of near-death experiences, people will have different stories, because what they believe they will see in the 4D. So a lot of times, like if we're at lower vibrational emotions, the ones that are very prevalent on this earth, fear, shame, guilt, lust, or passion, anger, courage, okay? Then if we're like at fear, then we hear about demons and we're like, oh my gosh, no, like I can be attacked, I can be controlled, I have to be scared. So or ghosts, we hear about ghosts, and so we're scared of the 4D. Other times we can get stuck in the 4D, because there are a lot of, it's very, there's so many interesting aspects. Like once your third eye opens and you start to see, it's kind of everything you could ever imagine. You see where a lot of the inspiration for movies come from. It's, connecting to the 4D and all the possibilities and all the different kinds of beings and entities that make up not just our universe, but the gazillions of universes, as energy is infinite and eternal. We certainly not even, we already know of hundreds and hundreds of universes. But, okay, so what I'm trying to say is we can get stuck in the 4D, and the 4D can be dangerous because there are a lot of different types of energy in the 4D. And that energy gets a lot of fuel from us when we're focused on it, okay? So if we're scared, that we kind of hand over our power to lower vibrational entities because we're resonating low, so they can mess with us a lot, or we get really caught up in like the spirit guide thing, or even ancestors, and depending on the beliefs and where that spirit guide or ancestor, where their consciousness is at, it can influence you. A lot of times these entities just want attention. So you might have like this spirit guide that really helps you with your tarot card reading, but it might not be the healthiest. That's why I always recommend asking for names and if it's in your highest and best good. And also continuing to get your vibration higher, because as your vibration gets higher, you are always connected to the other dimensions. But as your vibration gets higher, you are able to discern where things are coming from and not let them have power over you, or and you're just really able to like open your crown chakra, clear the way for you to really connect to source, to your higher self, to this deeper, greater wisdom that comes not from a place of like power, control, fear, but much higher. There's a release as you get to 5D, okay? And a lot of times that's why I feel like you have to be very careful with tarot cards, okay? Because tarot cards can be very 4D. You are getting information about someone's life, and you can, know like all these little details, but is it inspirational? Is it getting that person in touch with their soul, or is it making them reliant on tarot cards, on a certain tarot card reader, on a certain spirit guide? And then the other danger of tarot is if you're watching a lot of it and it's a general reading, we're reading for the collective. And a lot of the collective is in a 3D energy or in a 4D energy where they're trying to manipulate energy to get what they want, for power and control reasons, because they're afraid of losing someone, or they want a certain kind of affirmation in their life. And if you're getting to these higher vibrations and then you watch a lot of collective tarot, you will definitely feel your vibration lower, and you will start to feel anxious and fearful and a little bit out of control. Because the amazing thing, now that we get to 5D, as you connect to your higher self and to source, there are a lot less restrictions. You realize your ability, first off, to create your desired outcomes, but also you start to see clearly, okay, wait, I'm trying to control a specific person. I'm trying to control this outcome, and it's coming from this lower vibrational energy, and that's why it feels like bondage. You really get kind of this higher perspective where you can't really hide. You can't make excuses. So sometimes we feel more comfortable in the 4D because we can say, hey, look, no, I'm just doing, you're really able to create from your beliefs. But when it actually doesn't align with your soul and your higher self, and with your journey, whether you're a light worker or what you came here to actually create and be a part of, it's always going to feel kind of like resistance and bondage. And I'm sure a lot of you have felt that. Like at times you are manifesting something that comes so easy and it's just right. You saw it, you didn't even worry about it, it just came. But the things that you're like, oh, I gotta have it, I gotta have it, I gotta have it, I gotta have it, they don't come. And it's like this cyclical pattern. And I really feel like the lower mid to low vibrations of our emotions, that's karma. It's these cycles, that we go through, like, I got to control this so that I'm okay, and then it doesn't happen, and then we fear I'm not okay. Or it can happen in a lot of different ways. But so when we get to the 5D, it's pretty awesome. Our higher self can see past, present, and future and understand it, and is deeply connected to source. And I know when I started reading tarot and hearing about spirit guides, I kept feeling, no, higher, go higher, go higher. Don't even mess with the stuff, go higher. I felt that. And I really didn't even look into spirit guides. Like at times I would see them, know they were there. And I also was told, be careful when your spirit guide wants everyone to know their name. That's not high vibration, And I'm not saying that about everybody who's like channeling or something. They're definitely at times, when someone's channeling a specific person, there can be this familiarity. There's a name, But I was always warned, be careful, Be careful who whether in this life, you can't listen to everyone's opinions. Not everyone has your best interests in mind. It's the same way in the 4D. We don't have to be afraid, okay? Everything can work out in our highest good, especially when we intend for it to. But as we get our vibration to neutrality, acceptance, and love, and we're never gonna be perfect, of course. There's gonna be it's kind of like a music chord, We're working on acceptance. We're working on unconditional love. We're working on being in the moment. There's always gonna be some anger or a little bit of fear or shame or things coming up that we always are working on. But as the more we stay at that higher vibration, first off, it's pretty awesome because you start to know, okay, I don't have to do all of this myself. The universe, source is working on my behalf. So yes, I want to manifest specific things. I want them, but I can let go of control and know good things are coming in for me. I can know that I have worth. I can get insight that actually really helps me and helps other people. I am changed after this insight. It's not this cyclical pattern. So, there's a lot of people access 4D. They're awake to 4D, but they're not awake. It's, 5D, there's, of course, we always go in between, but 5D is really where you get to these vibrations where you actually start to have self-love. You start to really understand your worth is not based on what you have or other people's opinions. And it's then when you get to that neutrality, wow, I'm okay right where I am. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. Yeah, I've made so many mistakes and I've lost a lot, but I have worth right now. And for me, that was my light bulb moment. I was sitting in my room. I had nothing. I felt so alone. I felt so much shame, so much guilt. I wanted to die. And in one moment, I heard Source say, right now, you have worth. And I was like, what? Really? And in that moment, everything changed. I was like, wow. So I don't have to keep apologizing for me. I don't have to keep apologizing for, or feeling so much shame and guilt. And that helped raise my vibration so that I could actually start exploring and looking for answers. And so, yeah, all that to say, you can be in 4D, but not be awake. And that's why there's so many kind of conspiracy theories about people manipulating energy in unhealthy ways just to get what they want. It's still about power and control. And that's a part of the journey for sure. Even as you start to learn manifesting and everything, yes, we start to manifest things we really want. And then over time, you kind of have to look wow, where is this really coming from? And how is it truly making me feel? Because there's always a trade-off. There's always a trade-off when we get in those lower vibrations. But when we actually we set intention, but then we also kind of release control, and we start to actually just have gratitude in the moment and see the good around us. Not only do things come in faster, but a lot of times it's easier for us to get out of the cycles. That's happening a lot in the Master Conduit Course, where people were trying to control specific circumstances, but as their vibrations raised, they were like, whoa, this isn't even me. They've been letting go. I didn't even think that would happen, but people have been letting go of so much, and it's not even hard. They're just like, oh, man, I didn't even know what I was like. I was in the 3D, and now I'm not, and I realize I can actually have what I really want, what really resonates with me. So, yes, the 3D is about, before we're awakened, just what we can see, feel, possess, what other people tell us is right or wrong. Their opinion matters so much, The 4D it's what we believe. And there are other entities there that can influence us based on those beliefs. And then the 5D, it's about us being connected to Source and to our higher self. and it's what we create at that point. We really start to be able to create. And for me, you know, I said the lower ones as I see, I feel, I possess. 4D, I believe. 5D is I am. I am. Like, it doesn't matter what you see, you can rest in who you are. And it actually gets pretty exciting to just explore the universe from that place and still know, yes, I can manifest, I can create, I can heal, I can, you know, there's so many amazing, amazing things to explore about our universe. It is so cool that religion and science and math and spirituality and astrology, they do not disprove each other, they prove each other. The more wisdom that we all gain as a collective, science, and some people have been seeing this stuff for centuries, but we just couldn't put it together. It all proves each other, and that is amazing. That is so expansive, and that's the kind of path I want to walk, where we don't have to be boxed in. We don't have to be against each other. We can actually come together. And you can feel it. Vibration doesn't lie. So you can feel when something is not about power and it's just about truth. All right, so I hope this was helpful to you guys. So much love and light to you, and I will talk to you soon. The Master Conduit Course is starting in a week if you're interested, okay? I do have a video. If you look at my last channel update, there is some information about the Master Conduit Course, and you can email me if you'd like to be a part of it. I would love to be able to connect with you. It's been an incredible experience, and I'm glad to be able to do it again. And please like, share, and subscribe this video. I really appreciate your support. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.